I guarantee you, at one point in your life, you've been watching a TV show or movie, and a member of law enforcement has shown up and made you go, I recognise him. He's that rapper. But why do so many rappers go on to play police officers on TV? Well, I figured we'd get to the bottom of this prominent phenomenon and crack open the secrets of the entertainment industry. This trend caught my attention the other day when it was announced that LL Cool J was returning to NCIS Hawaii after his spin-off series got cancelled. Did you know that LL Cool J stands for Ladies Love Cool James? I'm sure I learned that from someone really unexpected, I think it was Stephen Merchant. He played a cop on that show. LL Cool J, not Stephen Merchant. And as if playing it for 10 or so years wasn't enough, he's now gonna play it for another decade. But why? How do they go from F the police to being the police? Let's delve into the reasons behind this frequent occurrence of rappers assuming law enforcement roles, and explore the potential influences shaping this trend. The transition from rapping to acting isn't uncommon, as numerous singers have successfully made this leap before. Look at J-Lo. Kelly Clarkson tried at one point, that was terrible. Who else? Harry Styles? Maybe these aren't the best examples of someone doing it well. Will Smith. He's a great example of a singer becoming a huge movie star. Well, pre-Oscar, Will Smith was a good example of it. Maybe he's not the best role model now. However, what sets apart the rapper to cop archetype is the specific choice to portray law enforcement figures on screen. This archetype has become so prevalent that it has become somewhat of a cliche, with iconic rappers like Ice-T and Ice Cube often associated with their portrayals of police officers above everything else. Rappers have long been regarded as cultural icons, embodying the essence of urban life and expressing the experiences and struggles of marginalised communities. Their music often reflects the realities of life on the streets. God, I'm not cool enough to talk about life on the streets. I sound like Michael Scott. But they often tackle on themes of poverty, crime, and social injustice. This authenticity and rawness have contributed to their immense popularity and influence, especially among younger generations. The street cred that rappers possess is a crucial part of this appeal. It serves as a symbol of authenticity and connects them to the roots. By embracing and showcasing their backgrounds, rappers establish a sense of relatability and resonate with audiences who have had similar experiences to them. This street cred gives them a unique position of influence, not just in the realm of music, but in shaping culture as a whole. People start doing or saying things that their favourite rappers talk about. Ice-T played a significant role in popularising the rapper-to-cop archetype. In the early 1990s, he transitioned from the world of rap to television, landing a groundbreaking role as Detective Finn in the long-running TV show Law & Order Special Victims Unit. Ice-T's portrayal of a dedicated and street-smart cop resonated with audiences and became iconic. Now let's go from T to Cube and talk about a founding member of NWA. Ice Cube successfully transitioned to acting and played law enforcement roles in several movies, such as the popular comedy film series Ride Along. His portrayal of a police officer presented a striking contrast to his earlier image as a vocal critic of law enforcement in his music. Even Tupac played a cop in Gang Related. In one of his final on-screen performances, Tupac demonstrated his acting prowess by portraying a police officer. It's a transition that no one would have seen coming, but he blows it out the water. We also had Ludacris playing a cop in that episode of Empire, and who else? Oh, we had Exhibit. He played an FBI agent in the second X-Files movie. It was weird seeing him swap his chains for a tie and a warrant card, but I think he nailed it. Method Man, another rapper and member of the Wu-Tang Clan. In The Wire, he portrayed Cheese. a drug dealer turned police informant. Method Man's portrayal exemplifies this rapper-to-cop archetype, as he drew upon his own background and experiences to bring authenticity to the character. Weirdly enough, I was on Reddit the other day and someone had used Midjourney to generate an image of what Tupac would have done had he not been killed. And in one of the slides, there was a photo of him playing a cop on The Wire. It probably would have happened and we would have admired him for it. The decision of rappers like Ice Cube and Method Man to embrace law enforcement roles in their acting careers reflects a desire to explore different facets of their personalities and challenge preconceived notions of them. By subverting expectations and playing characters that are seemingly contradictory to their earlier public personas, they showcase their range as performers and further blur the line between their art and their personal life. And of course, there is another huge reason why they do this. You can probably guess what it is.
Money, please!
I'm really glad we got talking about money out the way, because there's another reason why so many rappers have this shift away from the intense and sometimes controversial world of hardcore rap. It's because they become fathers. It is the desire to showcase positive role models for their children. As they mature and enter parenthood, many rappers become conscious of the impact their public image may have on their kids. They recognize the importance of setting an example and using their platform to convey messages of responsibility, love, support, things like that. Taking on law enforcement roles in movies and TV shows allows rappers to portray characters who uphold justice, protect their communities, and exhibit moral values. Society has a weird way of ostracizing rappers by going, "Oh no, they're saying terrible things." They become Helen Lovejoy from The Simpsons. Won't someone please think of the children? By aligning themselves with these type of roles, they can demonstrate to their kids and the world at large that they are not bad people. They are people to admire. One compelling example of this is Ice Cube. His journey from being a fierce and outspoken rapper to becoming a successful movie maker and family man exemplifies the transition that can occur within the rapper-to-cop archetype. He used to be in the papers with straight-laced conservatives accusing him of ruining a generation, but by the early 2000s he was playing dads in comedies like Are We There Yet? Then by the 2010s he was a cop in Ride Along. On a slightly more serious note, the portrayal of rappers as law enforcement officers in TV shows and movies can be seen as a response to the need for greater representation of ethnic diversity in the entertainment industry. Historically, the majority of law enforcement officers in media were portrayed by white actors, perpetuating a narrative that equated law enforcement with white people. By casting rappers who often come from minority backgrounds in these roles, the industry attempted to reflect the reality of a diverse society and challenge existing stereotypes. The inclusion of rappers as cops and detectives provides an opportunity to showcase different perspectives and experiences within the shows. It allows for the exploration of the complexities of race, identity, and cultural backgrounds, offering a more nuanced portrayal of characters. We see it all the time on TV. A suspect turns to a cop and points out his race, claiming he's betraying his own people. It puts a character into an interesting quandary, where they have to decide where their loyalty lies, with their colleagues or with another person who is being treated as equally poorly by a racist society. Hollywood has a long history of power dynamics and prejudices that have limited opportunities for non-white actors. Roles for people of colour, especially in the past, were often relegated to stereotypes and supporting characters. The rapper-to-cop archetype can be seen as a response to this systematic inequality, as it opens doors for rappers to step into more substantial roles and challenge the limited narratives traditionally offered to minority actors. By playing law enforcement officers, rappers are subverting expectations and breaking down barriers. They are reclaiming the narrative and asserting their presence within the mainstream industry. This shift allows for greater visibility and dismantles the notion that certain roles are exclusively reserved for a specific racial or ethnic group. In an interview with The Independent, Ice Cube was asked about his attitudes towards the police and how they changed since his days with NWA. He said that his views on law enforcement remained the same, stating his dislike for bad, abusive and crooked cops. However, he also said that playing a cop can be seen as cool and reminiscent of childhood games of cops and robbers. This perspective highlights the duality of rappers taking on law enforcement roles, as he can both criticize and engage with the concept of policing. Ice-T was known for his controversial song Cop Killer, and he faced massive backlash in the 90s due to its lyrics about police brutality. However, he then went on to play one of TV's most beloved cops in Law & Order. He spoke about this in an interview, and he made it clear that he was playing a character when he was singing that song just as much as he is for this TV show. By playing law enforcement, rappers can bring a unique perspective to these characters, drawing on their own encounters with law enforcement. Their decision to take on these roles can be viewed as a form of reclaiming the narrative. Rappers who have often been subject to scrutiny and stereotypes can use these roles to shape their own narratives and challenge preconceived notions that people have. Through their acting choices, they can transcend the limitations imposed on them by society and present a more comprehensive representation of themselves and their communities. The transition of rappers into law enforcement roles in TV shows and movies is constantly happening, and I guarantee you, it'll continue to happen for years to come. Rappers coming up now who idolize people like Ice-T and Ice Cube will try to mimic their journeys. I mean, Kanye has been trying to act for years, but he doesn't have the range for it. The man is so wooden, it's unbearable. Please don't put him in 23 Jump Street. We've explored a number of reasons why so many rappers make this transition. We could say it's for street cred, or we could say that it's so they can be seen as positive role models for the kids. Or we could be honest and simply say that the answer is money. But ultimately, there is no one singular answer. It's a combination of all of them. It's counter-programming. It's comments on social inequality. It's the ones for rappers to prove that they have range as an actor. It's many things. There's so many examples of rappers becoming cops that I couldn't even touch upon them all in this video. I don't think I mentioned Common or 50 Cent or Coolio. If there's any other big examples of this, let me know in the comments. Right, I'll let you go. If you enjoyed this video at all, please consider subscribing. We're trying to make it to 3k, and you can always unsubscribe if you don't like the stuff that I'm posting. There'll be no hard feelings, I promise you. Alright, bye.